So let's take a look at a question from the 2023 HSC Advanced Maths paper. This is question 21. Question 21. We are told the fourth term of a geometric sequence is 48. Okay, so we have some sequence, has a bunch of numbers in it. The fourth term we're told is 48, and there's a bunch of other numbers after it. The eighth term in the sequence is 3 on 16. Okay, so let me do this little nicer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't need to draw it, but I can. This is 48, and the eighth term is 3 on 16. So this is the first term, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Find the possible values of the common ratio and the corresponding first term. Now, value bracket S, term bracket S, suggests that there are going to be multiple solutions here. And if it wants us to find multiple solutions, we'll need all of the solutions to get the marks. So it's geometric, and this means this number here is going to be multiplied by something to get this number. Then this number is going to be multiplied by something to get this number is going to be multiplied by something to get this number, and we're going to be multiplying by the same term each time. So 48 times alpha gives you x, x times alpha gives you y, y times alpha gives you z, and z times alpha gives you 3 on 16. So what we really have is 48 times alpha times alpha times alpha times alpha is 3 on 16. So this tells us 48 times alpha to the power of 4, 1 multiplication 4 times, is equal to 3 on 16. Now we want to solve this, solve for alpha. When we solve this for alpha, this will tell us what the common multiplication ratio is. So if I'll divide both sides by 3 first. So divide this side by 3, divide this side by 3. This becomes 1. 48 divided by 3 is 16. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 16. So this will give me 16 squared times alpha to the power of 4 is equal to 1. Divide both sides by 16 squared. 16 squared. This is going to give me alpha to the power of 4 is equal to 1 on 16 squared. Now 16 squared is 4 to the power of 4. You could just do this as a standard number if you want, but we know that this is 1 over 4 to the 4. If we take the fourth root of both sides, we get alpha is equal to plus 1/4, or alpha is equal to minus 1/4. This is an even root, so it could come out positive or negative. So when it says find the possible values of the common ratio, these are the two possible values of the common ratio. Now it says find the corresponding first term. Well, whatever this first term is, let's call it O with a slash through it. We had to multiply that by alpha, multiply that by alpha, multiply that by alpha. We had to multiply it by alpha 3 times to get 48. So we have that the first term, which we'll call O with a cross through it, multiplied by alpha cubed equals 48. And we've just found the two values of alpha. So if we divide both sides by alpha cubed, this gives us that first term is equal to 48 over alpha cubed. Now we just need to plug in plus and minus alpha. So the first possible first term, we are going to let alpha equal 1/4. This will give us 48 over 1 on 4 cubed. Now 1 on 4 cubed is 1 on 64. 48 divided by 1 on 64 is 48 times 64. 48 times 64, use our calculator to do this. 48 times 64 is 3072. So 3072 is one possible first term. This is the first term if the common ratio is 1/4. And then we have a second case. The second case is where we let alpha be minus 1/4. This will give us the second possible first term is 48 divided by negative 1/4 cubed, which is going to be 48 times negative 64, which is going to be minus 3072. So these are the answers to question 21. Now let's go over the marking. So the marking for this kind of question should be fairly straightforward. Towards the beginning of the question, you'll get 1 mark for finding some combination of suitable working. So if you have something like an expression that helps you solve for the first term and the ratio or something like that, this will get you 1 mark. If you're doing it using the format that I've used, setting up an equation to help you link those two terms will get you the first mark, something along these lines. In order to get the second mark, you'll need to find the alpha to the power of 4, or the common ratio to the power of 4, solve for the alphas, or some equivalent merit. And then to get the solution mark, the final mark, you will need to have the numbers 3072 and minus 3072. So this is question 21.